Hello Pisces, welcome to the Mixtape Mystic. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Pisces, any placement that resonates for you. It's currently December 2023, but this is going to be a timeless reading. So whatever's here for you, I trust that you're here because something's going to come out. We got the moon card at the split, so with the 5 of cups. When I was doing your meditation before this reading, I actually got the moon card. I was trying to determine what sign to read for next, and I was shuffling the deck and some jumpers came out and the moon card came out, and that's your major arcana. So a lot of 5s floating around with you already, I'm seeing. Anyways, Pisces, we're gonna get started. Hello. Interesting. Super appreciate it if you want to like the video, if you want to subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna be hanging out, having a good time here, so I want you around. This is phenomenal. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna break down this reading in just a minute here, but I'll get a couple more cards from the tarot. My goodness. I was picking up on a lot of different things in your meditation. I want to see kind of what comes out in the reading, but I definitely was kind of smelling the ocean a bit, or I guess it could have been fresh water. It was just kind of that refreshing dampness, sort of humidity in the air of being really close to water. Obviously you're a water sign, so energetically there's a resonance there, but it did feel particularly like salt water to me. Like it reminded me of being in St. Augustine in Florida, and swimming in the ocean there, and just how incredibly salty it is. I'm a Michigan native, so I'm gonna eat large bodies of water. I'm used to it being fresh water, but I was also picking up on there being a significance with the year 2003, and which is 20 years ago. I was kind of making note of, which is wild to me. Also the number 13, and what else was it? Oh, the phrase "shadows from journeys past" came to mind. I was in the meditation, I pulled a card for your energy, and I got the 3 of Wands, and I think maybe that's where part of the smelling the water kind of came from. If that card comes up in your reading, I'll point it out, but it's just it's a character overlooking the water. But I feel like there was something about waiting for something to happen, but it was kind of this impatience that was mixed with a lot of, it wasn't really anxiety, but it was like a certain degree of discomfort, I guess. But it was really interesting because I felt as though it was something that you had complete control over, but for some reason your energy was acting like you didn't. So I'm gonna be curious to kind of see how that comes about here. But oh yeah, and cross watchers, if you're watching to try to figure out the story of a Pisces, you're welcome here. But also just keep in mind that these energies could be flipped around some. So the more cross watchers energy that I pick up on, it could get kind of fuzzy. So just keep that in mind, Pisces, as well, because you're gonna know what your own energy feels like. Take what resonates, leave anything else behind. It's super interesting to me that we have, oh wow. So there's a story with this card here. It came in this Prism Oracle deck, And I know other readers who just took it out like it's an extra card, just like a cardstock print or something, you know, like a wild card or something. I keep it in. It feels really appropriate. And after doing a lot of personal readings, I started to notice a pattern for when it was showing up. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But starting off here, I'm kind of excited for you because this is such a strong start to this reading. This is your establishing energy here in this first column. And we have the Nine of Pentacles, and it's clarified by this ideation card. So the Nine of Pentacles is a great earth energy. I love that it's right next to the King of Pentacles. There's so much that's really happening in this energy, but it's really standing out to me that there are 6 pentacles on one side and 3 on the other. That was something else that was really taking note of in your meditation, is the numbers 3 and 9 kept showing up, and I thought about the 369 pattern, and I just kept thinking, where's the 6? Where's the 6? And for some reason that felt important to me as well. I was thinking about what about 6 was resonating with me. And it was kind of the 6 of Pentacles energy, which isn't on the board right now, but it's this energy of reciprocity, of having an equal give and take, sort of, in regards to something. And that being off, kind of. Which is interesting, because like I'm noticing this balance card now. And that's really what it felt like. Like something was just a little bit off like that. And it's funny, I know we're kind of in an intuitive bit of this still. I'm about to get into some of these cards, but earlier today I was changing my headlight on my car. I put it off for eons. Any other chronic procrastinators? Comment below. Let me know you're here. I want to feel seen. But I finally got to it. Really, long story short, there was this one screw on this casing I had to take off to get to it. It was this plastic screw. It kept stripping, and it felt a lot like this. I would turn it to a certain point, and then it would just kind of click down again. And the more I kept turning it, the more frustrated I got. But also, I felt as though this shouldn't be giving me this hard of a time. Like even went to another screw that was like it on the other side of the casement under the hood, and that one came off just fine. And I thought, well, what's going on with this one? So there's some frustration there, and that's kind of like that feeling a little bit that I was picking up on, which was sort of like you're trying maybe to do something about something, but something still isn't coming together. Yeah, it's really interesting. But anyway, with this being your establishing energy with ideation, I'm kind of really picking up, for some of you, this is about really thinking ahead right now to what you want, the energy you want to be showing up in, probably in 2024, right? Because we're at the end of 2023 here, but the Nine of Pentacles is such an energy of just abundance and autonomy, especially independence. Not needing anything, not really needing anything from anybody, but having enough to meet your own needs and then also share and be generous. And part of it's like, it's an energy of just not having lack, just not having any lack. But I feel like for some of you Pisces, this is an energy that you're not really familiar with. Some of you are, but there's something about the way that this is standing out in the establishing energy with ideation. This is like dream casting, kind of. This is getting in touch with a version of yourself that's further along a certain timeline that you want to be engaging with. And you're trying to figure out how to show up and make that a reality. There was something else I was getting there, but it's elusive to me at the moment. But this is really kind of making sense going into our second column, because this is the area of focus. And building off of this energy, this is so much about, the King of Pentacles is really, I think of it as, it's an energy very akin to the Nine of Pentacles, but it's royalty. He's sitting on a throne. This is big Taurus energy. This is mastery of not just money and finance, but really getting to the root of it, which conceptually, money is energy. And that is really the key as I'm, continuing to constantly expand in my own conscious awareness, in my soul lessons. I have a lot of Taurus energy, and I think in terms of abundance, but I also have Mars and Cancer in my second house, which is the house that Taurus is trying to show up in. And so it's just really, that's like an Achilles heel for me, admittedly, is maintaining a sense of these energies. And for you Pisces, like my North Node is in Pisces, so I resonate a lot with your energy. And there's something here about, this is what you're envisioning for yourself down the road, is dreamcasting from starting on this energy as a baseline, but really it's what you're wanting to grow this into. And these 3 pentacles on this card can also talk about having some to invest. And so you're constantly in this mindset of expansion, and doing it from a really open heart center, because it's that openness in your heart center that's going to create the right energetic the way that I'm visualizing it is sort of this circuit board, where you're sending out a signal and then it's coming back to you. And there's something about showing up in your heart space when you are working with money magic, especially where you, if you can detach from it and allow it to be like a current that flows through you. This is what Taurus is really good at, because they have that sense of grounding with the earth, that electrical charge that comes from the earth, comes up into our feet, that regulates our nervous system. Like, that is the energy of the earth, and that is also pentacle energy. And so it's more than money at first glance, but it's the root system at which money can then become a part of our third dimensional reality. And I think that that's not talked about enough with the pentacles. And so working with this kind of magic is really about working with the energy that you feel moving through you from the earth first. And again, my beautiful Pisces energy is grounding is not something that is that natural, because you're that archetype of the fish. You don't have that in like innately, in the way that like a Taurus would or another earth sign would. But your advantage is that you're experiencing the earth in a different way that earth signs won't have the opportunity to, okay? Even though you are coming onto the land as a fish, so to speak, this is really about you playing by different rules and you finding ways to adapt and finding things that work for you. It's coming through so strongly for someone. It's like you have a process that you know is going to work for you, but maybe the energies around you are saying it's not, or that it's not the right way. And I just feel like there's something in this reading about you just not taking that advice respectfully, but finding your own way, because you understand that you're not playing by the same rules as people who are walking around with their feet on the earth. And with this area of focus, like this expansion into that energy, pieces here, clarifying it. And I think that that's so beautiful because it really is an amplification of that sense of not lacking anything. It's like you're building a threshold for yourself. I think that this year is going to be really, for a lot of Pisces, this is going to be a year of coming into a new tier of energetic stability for most of you, and certainly like monetary stability for a lot of you if you're not there. But this is so great because going into this third column, this is the unexpected. You have the star. literally 1 foot in the water. Oh my gosh. And 1 foot on the land. That's the kind of alchemy that you're being called to right now. And I think the unexpected part is that through this process, so many of you are going to be connecting with your connection to spirit, your sense of connection to spirit is really what I should say. Because this blank card to me is a signifier of the presence of some activity in the 8th chakra, which is going to be, arguably 8 to 12 inches above your crown chakra. It's outside of your body. It's this pure white light energy. And in thinking of terms of like the musical scale, like the major scale, if you go up the scale and you get to the 7th note and then the 8th happens, that's where you hit the octave, right? That's the tonic, that's the root of it. That's where it all started. It was the 1 note and the 8th note. They're both the same in terms of their pitch, but in their octave, it's resonating differently. There's something about that here, but it's like reaching a new level of understanding, a new level of spiritual awakening that is now integrated into your daily reality. There's something about pulling from spirit here, pulling from the ether, the deep wells of that spiritual, psychic, dream state place that is so Neptunian. I mean, it's Pisces energy. This is the Aquarius card, but what I'm talking about is Pisces energy. It's so connected to spirit that it feels so foreign being here, incarnated in a human body, but it's also such a wonderful gift that you all carry that I admire so much. And I love that this is happening, in regards to this area of focus that we're talking about. So you really think of this as that lens that we're looking at the rest of this reading through. But this piece is really key to you finding yourself in this energy. Because again, when it comes to any kind of money manifestation, there is a need to not need it. It's like there's a rule of the universe. You can have anything that you want for the, good of all and the harm of none, as long as you don't need it. That's the key. You have to not need it. And so it's that detachment that then allows the space for the universe to move behind the scenes. And it's this allowance that's happening. It's coming from this peace. It's like you have to have the idea of what this peace feels like before you can root it up into your three-dimensional reality. That's so important. And I think that what is unexpected here, again, is that I think you're going to reach into the wells of that water and you're going to pull out something that's so much deeper than maybe you were expecting. And it's part of this process that you're in of connecting with your spirit and awakening, expanding your level of conscious awareness, but also pouring it into that new reality, redefining yourself and your own energy based off of these new tiers of awakening that's happening. That's super fantastic. I love it. Which takes us for this energy, you know, so far, this fourth column is our advice from Spirit. And you can't even make this up. This is so beautiful, because to me, this, you know, both the Temperance card and the Star card in the Major Arcana, to me, are about striking a balance with something, but this is more than that. I think Temperance is a lot about healing and alchemy, and I think that the Star card is a lot more about taking that healing and applying it, integrating it into a new way of being. And the advice here is the Sun card with this Balance card. And, you know, going back to what I was saying about that screw I was dealing with earlier today, this doesn't have to be frustrating. And I think maybe that's a part of what you realize. That going back to that, what I was picking up on, the energy I was picking up on from somebody earlier in the reading, it's like, you know that everything's happening how it should be, and there's still this resistance, kind of, is what it feels like. And I don't think that's anything. I think that's kind of fatigue. I think this has been a really long journey for a lot of you. Whew. So this is really about, you know, the Sun card is about your soul essence. It's about happiness as a energetic state, as a default, as a choice. It's something that you garden, something that you cultivate. You get good at it because you practice it. But it's balancing it with that grounding, with that connecting to the earth. Understanding that for these sunflowers, the sun is lifting you up and your roots are pulling you down, and it's living in that tension, which really isn't tension at all. I think it just feels like it. But living in it is really it's the essence of being alive. It sounds really cheesy, but I think of our North Node and our South Node being this tension that is pulling us, and that's the experience of our consciousness. It's our own duality. And it's what we're moving towards, or what we hunger and thirst to move towards, and also what we are releasing and constantly, maybe even having issues with releasing. But there's a big energy here, especially with this showing up right in the middle of the reading, Pisces. Like, this is a huge energy of burning off so much freaking karma. Honestly, it's not even, it feels like it doesn't compare to any generation in your family up until this point. It's like stepping into new territory is what it feels like. Like the first in your family to experience this kind of embodied healing, not just healing, like embodied healing. That's what that's an important part of it here. The potential outcome in your reading here is, like, by nature super intuitive. Got these purple shades in here. The Four of Swords to me is about resting with the intent of finding your own truth. You know, despite the thoughts and opinions of others around you and your energy represented by the swords hanging on the wall, it's going inward to find what is this one sort of truth that you will sleep on, stand on, what's real for you. And keep in mind that multiple realities can exist. It's about creating space for other people to have their own reality, their own experience. and building that from a sense of compassion, conscious awareness. There's something about the end of this year, Pisces, where you're moving through what feels like a bit of a reflection period, going into what will be a lot of activity, I think, but it's not gonna come probably until psychically I'm picking up for the collective, for a lot of us, April of next year. That's confirmed for me because I'm drawn to the 4 on the 4 of Swords. I think that there's something over the course of this winter for a lot of you that Spirit's going to be working to heal and rehabilitate. That's what's coming through. Rehabilitate something. It's going to put you in a state where you can re-emerge into whatever communities, whatever part of the world you're in, whatever space you're occupying, you can re-emerge into it with a sense of a new sense of ownership of yourself and your own energy, and also the work that you're doing moving forward. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm going to pull a card from this Fortune Oracle deck that I recently got. Look at these cards. These are fun. Silver edges. All right, this is dope. All right, my Pisces brothers and sisters, non-binary pals. See if we get an oracle card to close this out. Ultimately, like, to recap the reading, this is such a roots and fruits kind of a reading. This is you're going deep in order to stand really tall, and it's a process that you're currently caught up in, and it's having to do with healing, and it's having to do with being seen. Oh, I got chills when I said that. That's terrifying to some of you. We have transformation. Reach out for the power and strength to make changes. Enrich your life and become the person you want to be. That was 32, 33. I don't know how well these are shuffled. Not super great, I don't think. So we have 35, but we're going to go with it. Unicorn, success, hope, freedom, healing, and magic are all available to you if you just believe. Super fun. Love me a unicorn. 35, wish. Your heart's desire is ready to come true. Yeah, these all came out together, so... Threes. Something important. Threes. So some of you could be really noticing 333 or 33 or 44, 369, 963. Yeah. But anyways, until next time, Pisces, I love you much. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you next time.